Good evening guys and welcome back to the channel. As you can see on screen, this is an Assetto Corsa update in the 4K VR headset, the HP Reverb G2, running now on my system with a 5900x and an RTX 2080 Ti. And during the race that I'm about to bring you very shortly, I had an absolutely solid average frame rate of 74 frames per second. Now, if you've watched my previous video running under my Ryzen 7 1700X that was overclocked on all cores to 3.9 GHz, you'd actually notice that I seem to get a higher frame rate. But the difference between the two systems is that the frame rate under the 5900X is pretty consistent. It's always hovering in the 70s to 74, 75 FPS, sometimes dips slightly low into the 68, but never drops below 68 frames per second. On my older Ryzen 7 1700X system, I was getting frame drops down into the 50s and it would be bouncing up, although that an average of I think was 85 frames per second, it would bounce around. So on the 5900X I'm getting a much more consistent, more solid frame rate, but it does puzzle me as to why my overall frame rate is lower. Now obviously it's a completely different system, different chipset, different motherboard, different drivers per se to my other system. So it could mean that it just needs a little bit of maturity, or there's some setting that are still sticking to my old processor. I've not quite worked it out yet, but one thing I would say, I am overclocking my Ryzen 9 5900X using the PBO Performance Boost option. I'm only doing that, so it's only overclocking the two fastest cores, so they're going to be running just over 5 GHz, but the rest of the cores won't be overclocked and will be running lower. So whether that affects the overall frame rate, I don't know. But I've got to say guys, the difference between the two systems, this is just a whole lot more smooth, better experience. It's a more consistent experience. Now it could also be down to the car and track combo. I am racing in the Lotus 211 at the famous Imola circuit. That was part of the Grand Prix weekend just gone. Still not watched that race guys, I've got to go. I was out and about on Sunday, I didn't get a chance to tune into that. I've heard it's a brilliant race, so I'm going to get on and watch that because I can compare it, my track knowledge in the Lotus 211 to the F1 cars, although there is a massive disparity in speed. Anyway guys, as mentioned, I did do a race in VR and I'm absolutely loving Assetto Corsa at the minute. It's the clearest image in the HP Reverb G2. The frame rate for me is high enough, more than high enough to race. It's comfortable, no motion sickness, no VR lag. This is a sim racing as the best as it's been. What we're going to do, we're going to jump over to the race. We're just going to jump over to me finishing practice and qualifying, and then I'm going to talk you through my race because it was an interesting race. Thought I'd have a better result than I did, but an exciting race as it is, and we'll go through that very shortly. Guys, so we're practice and qualifying over. Oddly, I didn't get to see my qualifying time. I think my fastest time around the circuit is 2 minutes 0.6. Out of a 17 car grid, I have qualified in 8th position. Now in qualifying I didn't lower the amount of fuel, and perhaps that's why I was a bit further down the grid order than what I thought I should be. As you'll see in a minute, I'm just going to take some of that fuel off because I was running the car a little bit heavy. Now this is a 10 lap race, but I always like to have just a little bit more fuel than the 10 laps, just in case, you know, I'm trying to catch a pack and I have to keep giving it maximum attack. Anyway, We're about to switch over to the start of the race, and here we go. I'm just getting settled in, repositioning. Lights are going red, we're waiting on the line, and go. I don't know if there was a slight delay at the start, but it doesn't look too bad. Now we're coming up into the first left-hander. I decided to go up the inside there, just got the car on my right. Really thinking it's the very, very first corner. I don't want to get caught up in anything. Wanted to brake early enough. Oh my God, three abreast knocking into each other. If he'd gone, I would have maybe collected him, but luckily he's hung on to that. And he's still squirming about. I'm close to making a little love tap there. Now, we've got to bleed the speed off here. If you don't get the speed off, you end up running off over the side of the track there. Still trying to keep pace, but thinking about braking early. This is only the first lap nerves. Want to keep the pressure on though. Now I'm gaining, I'm up the side of him. Can I get a position here? He's still on the right and he's still just in front of me, and I thought, well, let him go. It's only the first lap, let's not do anything crazy. And he really got onto the outside of the track there, but now I'm coming up on the inside. Can I take position? No, he's still back in front of us again. And in trying to complete that manoeuvre, I dipped a wheel just on the curb. That threw me off the track and I've just lost a position there. Still keeping pace, still going, coming down, braking for the first chicane, just thinking about not running into the car in front. As you're clipping over those chicanes there, you don't want to go over them too crazy. The Lotus 211 very low to the ground and can very easily get unsettled. As we start running downhill here, we really are picking up some pace and getting your braking point just right to clip this apex. Go straight down and clip this apex here is a bit of a fine art. When you're running over those corners there, you've got to be careful that you don't go over too aggressively, as you can again upset the car. Now this is a funny, I wouldn't call it straight as such, it's more of a bend, but it acts as a straight. And as we're coming down here, we're getting ready just to hit point there, hitting the brakes as hard as we can, then manoeuvring through the right, left, back down, and we're coming into again another braking zone for the left-hander. Now the pack, the front of the pack after my little moment just seems to have pulled away from me, and at this point in time I'm trying to play catch up. This left-hander here, you can either brake a little bit later and deeper into the corner, then sort of cut it across, you can get good traction out, or if you're defending you can cut close to the apex like I did there. This is probably one of the more difficult corners on the track. It's very high speed, you've got to thread it through perfectly. If you go onto the outside there, just as this bit here, you're going to send yourself off the track and you're going to have an off. Well, at the minute I'm just trying to keep the pace, trying to keep the pressure up, brake as late as I can, clipping, just clipping the edge, just trying to keep up pace. At the moment my lap pace seems to be matching those in front, and it's only lap 2 and there's already a gap between me and the front of the pack. Once again I'm trying to brake as late as I can there, but at the same time keeping those two apexes clipped. Sometimes trying to be too precise at that corner there can lose you a lot of time. This track is very much about a flowing lap time. If you're aggressive with your lap, you're aggressive on the brakes and the throttle, you're not really getting those smooth transitions through the corners. That's nicely braked for there, clipping the curbs, just getting the car tucked in tight to that apex and just rubbing the edge there. Now this is it's got to be this corner here is, I find, That was a bit of a slapper there, a bit of a tank slapper going on. And this corner, that corner had just gone by. I find it so difficult because if you're carrying too much speed, you can really get the car unsettled. So it's getting that balance between speed and the right level of grip to stop you from flying off the track. Now I am in chase mode here, and I'm going to keep pushing and trying to push the car as hard as I can. I want to at least make some positions back, and I think what we're going to do, we're just going to jump ahead in the laps just to the point where I catch the pack up. So here we go, transitioning from lap 3 to lap 6. I've been pushing really hard to catch the front of the pack up. We're currently on lap 7 now. We're just coming towards the start finish straight. I'm really picking up some pace here, just gaining the draft of the car in front. Thinking about maybe can I go around the outside, but no, got to start thinking about braking zone. Oh wow, he braked really early on, dear. I've just given him a bit of a tap then, no damage to either car. I did get him a bit unsettled, but luckily I didn't send him off. That's it's got me a little bit shaken there. Don't want to throw the race away this deep in, so just giving him enough distance through that tricky section. It can be tricky if you push too hard there, but late on the brakes again, just showing my presence there. He's just closed the corner off up on the inside. Now I'm going to keep pushing, keep showing my presence. Perhaps we can pressure him to make a mistake. Just still thinking about the braking zone. I've braked enough there. He's braking quite late. He's deep. He's up onto the curb. He's made a mistake. I'm now alongside. I'm ahead for the corner. But no, he's come back on me. He's come back on me. He's tapped us. And oh no. He sent us round. Now, I could just try and fly back on track, but that would be a safe unsafe rejoin. I've got it crossed over there. We've lost another position getting back up to speed. So from trying to get a good clean overtake manoeuvre there, we've actually been knocked off the track. Oh well, damage limitation now. We've just got to try and save this race as best as we can. It's lap 7. We're going to be coming into lap 8. Trying to get my braking zone right. I've got to get my head back in the game there. That would have been a nice manoeuvre, and I was still, with that pace I was going at, I could have pulled a few positions back. Now the car in front is quite a way ahead. We've got some catching up to do, and we've got just under 2 laps to do it in. That's why I wanted to put the extra fuel in the car, just a bit more than what we needed, because at this point in time I am giving it everything now. Can I claim or claw anything back before the race is over? The guy in front is slower than me. I know that because we've had 2 cars pass us that we were in front of, and we were keeping fairly good pace, and we're actually lapping perhaps quicker than some of the others to catch that front pack up. So now I'm pushing. Already we're making progress. We have brought that gap down a fair bit. So thinking about the braking point, but still pushing, but not too hard. And is this going to give me the opportunity? Can I make the pass this time? I'm on the outside, but no, not brave enough to try that again. But nearly collected him again. He's right. I'm braking as light as I can to keep the pressure and pace on, but he seemed to brake fairly early for that. Just shows the difference in speed. Once again, I'm catching him up through the chicane. Can I get a good exit here? No, he's done fairly well there. He's coped with the pressure really well. All I can do is just keep this pressure on, keep the pace on, just try and get a position back before the end of the race. That's the goal now. Come on. Again, we're gaining on him. Can we get through this corner and get good pace? Right, it does seem he hasn't pulled away. We're close. He's still keeping ahead, but we are gaining. We're getting a slight gain on him. Looking at the outside, but he's covering. We're right on his tail there, getting the braking just right that time. Gonna keep pushing. Oh, he's made a mistake and we're up the inside, and we've got the position. We've made the pass. That was a good pass there. So we've got one place back, but we just have not got the laps left now to save this race. Just slightly up on the curb there. Got to watch that at this late stage. So I'm closing the apex off. I'm not going to give him an opportunity to get that position back. So we're now pushing hard towards the end of the race, and I've really got a good sling out of that corner because he's dropped way behind. Like I say, my pace for this race was very good. Definitely quicker than some of the other cars on track, and it's just a shame really that manoeuvre up around, what was it, lap 6 knocked us off the circuit, because the pace we were going, I could have definitely felt I could have got a few more passes under our belt. But as it is, we've got a position back. I don't think at this still the leaders are now on the final lap, and the distance from us to the next car, we're not going to, at this stage the race, pull that back. So now it's just about bringing the car home. Don't do anything. Oh, Jesus, don't do anything stupid. And that mistake has brought the guy behind back into play. But I'm not going to let him pass. I'm not going to let him pass. Foot pedal to the metal here. I'm closing him off. We're not going to let him pass. So here we are on the last lap. What I need to do now is to do a lap of a very, very good pace. Keep that gap between us. Don't give him a chance to try and return. And already he's dropping. You can check the mirrors there. He's dropped back. Keep it clean now. Come on, Pete. Keep it clean. We're going to get to the end here without any more mistakes. So easy in this Lotus 211. Braking slightly late, but keeping that corner closed off. It was slightly open, but I've hooked up really well. And this is what I was talking about earlier on in the commentary. If you hook that up well, look how much I've dropped the car behind. Again, keeping this now precise. Bring it home. Do not do anything silly now. Let's get to the end of the race. Damage limitation has been done. We've got a place back. But still some minor mistakes because I'm pushing hard. And we were alright. He's not going to catch us up now. Just keep the chicane clean. Yeah, we're through. Okay. Look how far back he is still. Not a chance to catch us now. So as we drop downhill, we're not going to go crazy with the speed here. And there's the guy in front, still just ahead of us. We were not going to catch him. Not a chance. Shame there weren't some more laps in the race. Could have redeemed myself a bit better. And there we are. We've really dropped the guy behind. We've covered that place off. And here we are coming in across the line. And race is over. We're 9th out of 17. This was a race that could have been better, but wasn't. Your views, guys, please comment down below. Do you think I was justified in my overtaking that corner? We was clipped on the side as he tried to come back at us, but I felt I had track position. What's your take on that? Be interested to see what you guys think. Absolutely loving AC in VR. At the minute it is my go-to simulator. Gonna see if I can tweak things a bit more, find out why I can perhaps try and boost the FPS a bit more. Maybe it's just that broad overview, and I can't remember if at this point I did manage to check out my lap time. Yep, there is my lap time there. So just zooming in on the timetable there for you guys, you can see I was doing 2 minutes 0.8 seconds on the last lap, and the people ahead of me there were running in the 2:01s. So there's absolutely no doubt I think I could have worked my way through the field to get a much better track position. But that's racing, guys. That little incident sent me off, and I dropped down the field and lost a couple of places. We got the one back, and I just love this, guys. Absolutely love it. I am going to start racing online. I'm going to start doing more of that. I did say I'd be doing that, and I will be bringing that to the channel. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll see you soon in some more videos to come. A couple of videos I've got to finish off and get out for you guys. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Peace out.